Imagine you're running a British glass factory, barely staying afloat after years of tax hikes and suffocating red tape, and then you discover your own government just handed over 100 million quid to build a rival factory in Belgium. Not Manchester, not Birmingham, Belgium. And here's the kicker. It's owned by a Turkish company whose boss has been tangled up in a fraud investigation. Welcome to Starmer's Britain, where backing British business apparently means bankrolling the competition and calling it economic strategy. The Tories are absolutely livid, and honestly, once you hear the full story, you'll understand why. Labour has just approved a staggering £150 million loan, yes, your taxpayer money, to finance a brand new glass factory. Now, before you start cheering for British manufacturing making comeback, let me hit you with a plot twist that's got Westminster up in arms. This factory isn't being built in Britain. It's going up in Belgium. It's owned by the Ciner Group, a Turkish firm. And just to add that extra sprinkling of chaos to this already disastrous recipe, the owner's been caught up in a fraud probe. You genuinely could not script this level of incompetence if you tried. Let's talk about what's actually happening here, because this goes beyond standard political blunders into the realm of spectacular self-sabotage. The British government is essentially writing a massive check to help establish a direct competitor that will flood our market with cheaper glass products while British manufacturers are fighting for survival. It's like watching someone buy their enemy a sword while they are already locked in battle. Andrew Griffith, Shadow Business and Trade Secretary, absolutely nailed the mood when he called this outrageous. Because what else do you call it when taxpayer money finances a foreign factory owned by a foreign firm, while British businesses are drowning in taxes and bureaucracy? Now here's where this story transforms from merely bad to absolutely infuriating. The Ciner Group, this Turkish company benefiting from British taxpayer generosity, actually promised to build a factory right here in the UK, specifically in Wales. In Ebvale, Blaenau Gwent, to be exact. Back in July 2021, Ciner Glass announced plans for a facility on the Rassau industrial estate that would create 650 jobs. 650 proper jobs in an area crying out for investment. Communities got their hopes up. Families started planning futures. Local businesses anticipated the economic boost. Then came the betrayal. Last July, those plans got binned faster than you can say broken promises. Ciner Glass suddenly decided they wouldn't proceed with the UK facility after all. They claimed they were exploring alternative investment projects while insisting, and I quote, that they remain fully committed to long-term investments in the UK and South Wales. Fully committed. That phrase is doing some absolutely Olympic-level heavy lifting there, isn't it? Because apparently being fully committed to Britain means taking government-backed loans to build your factory literally anywhere but Britain. It's the corporate equivalent of promising to meet someone for dinner and then texting from another country saying you're still totally committed to the friendship. But wait, because somehow this gets even more absurd. The government's own website for UK export finance cheerfully explains that this project aims to produce container glass for the Belgian, Dutch, and German markets. Notice anything missing from that list? Yeah, Britain doesn't get a mention in the primary aims. Although it did graciously add as well as for possible neighboring countries at the end, presumably meaning us when they fancy dumping their excess production on our shores at rock-bottom prices. How incredibly thoughtful of them. The timing of all this is genuinely spectacular in the worst possible way. Right now, as we speak, British glass manufacturers are getting absolutely hammered with increased taxation. So the government is simultaneously making it more expensive for British companies to operate while financing their foreign competitors to set up shop next door. A senior glass industry source didn't hold back, calling it a complete lack of common sense. They said the government is hiking taxes on British glass while helping foreign rivals, and it's a joke. Except nobody in British manufacturing is laughing because this joke is costing them their livelihoods. Think about the signal this sends to British business owners. You weathered economic storms, navigated Brexit uncertainties, survived pandemic closures, dealt with energy costs that would make your accountant weep, and just when you think maybe things might stabilize, your own government hands a competitor 100 million quid to undercut you. Why would anyone feel confident investing in Britain when the government actively funds your competition abroad? It's economic self-harm dressed up as export finance strategy. And there's another delightful layer to this catastrophe. Starting this month, Retailers are paying the Extended Producer Responsibility Scheme, a multi-billion-pound recycling tax that's inevitably getting passed straight onto consumers. Any company producing packaging that households dispose of now pays this levy, and retail bosses are warning that shoppers will feel it at the checkout. So British taxpayers are funding foreign factories with their taxes while simultaneously paying more for groceries because of new levies on British businesses. It's a double punch to the wallet, courtesy of Westminster's finest minds. Now let's address the government's defense of this madness because it's genuinely world-class spin. UK Export Finance insists their support helps UK firms thrive globally at no net cost to taxpayers. No net cost, they say, while guaranteeing loans to build facilities that will directly compete with British manufacturers. They claim roughly 16 UK firms will benefit from this contract, creating jobs for British workers. 16 suppliers getting some business versus an entire domestic industry facing new competition from a government-funded rival. That's some creative accounting of the benefits there. Oh, and about that minor detail of the Ciner Group owner being embroiled in a fraud investigation. The government admits they are aware of reports about the chief executive's arrest, which happened after they'd already awarded the contract. After they found out about potential fraud after signing off on a £100 million loan guarantee. They assure us they have robust due diligence procedures and strictly apply OECD anti-bribery standards, which is tremendously reassuring until you remember they're explaining this after admitting they missed rather significant red flags during their supposedly robust checks. Thanks for watching this deep dive into Westminster's latest masterclass in how not to back British business. This is UK Secrets, bringing you the political chaos they'd rather you didn't notice. Hit that subscribe button because trust me, with this government, there's plenty more madness coming.